Our special focus on NDTV at this hour, the big climate change challenge and how youngsters are leading the charge for climate justice. Well, the COP28 climate conference also put the spotlight on youngsters, on how they can actually lead the charge when it comes to climate justice, given the fact that it is a crisis that the world is confronted with and the challenges are very real. Joining us now for a very special conversation, Mr. Kevin Frey, who is the CEO of YuWAAH, an organization that is engaging the youth when it comes to climate change. Thanks very much, Mr. Frey, for joining us. Straight up, my first question, you've targeted a very interesting group, the youth. What do you think youngsters bring to the table when it comes to the climate change challenge?
Thank you. I think it's a great question. And actually, why we started on this was we asked youth what they care about, what they want to make a difference on. And the resounding answer from youth is that they want to make a difference on climate. We did a global survey with UNICEF. We found well north of 67% of young people said that they were suffering from what they called climate anxiety, a sense of hopelessness and despair about the state of the planet. And the one thing they said they wanted to do more than anything else was to take action. So we are working with young people to empower them, both as volunteers, to clean up their communities, to conserve water, conserve energy, reduce waste, to advocate at the local level, national level, even the international level, and then to get green skills, start green ventures and take green jobs. This is what young people care about, and they want to be out front driving the change. There's no question that they're not responsible for climate change. On the contrary, and there's a huge role for governments, and there's a huge role for corporations. But where we're focused, because our mission at YuWAAH, Generation Unlimited, is about young people, is to help them get active to create the kind of sustainable planet that they want and care about.
Right. And you made a very interesting point about climate anxiety. So while there are youngsters who are very conscious about the challenges and the ramifications of climate change, there is a sense of complacency that creeps in as well after a point. How do you make sure that they remain sensitized through this entire initiative and through this entire fight against climate change?
Through the Green Rising India Alliance, which launched today with the Minister of the Environment, we are focused on one thing: climate action. Young people, and we've heard this again and again and again, know that this is the planet that they need to live on, and they are ready to act. They just need a little bit of support, whether that be the mentorship, a little bit of financial support, an enabling policy environment. So we are here to help young people, in fact, do what they want to do, which is to take that climate action. They can't afford to wait, and they know that better than anyone. We have to address a climate crisis that is here now, and young people want to be out in front leading that change.
And you've really gone beyond the rhetoric around climate change, and you focused a great deal on grassroots action. Take us to the kind of work you've been doing on the ground and the kind of change that work has been able to bring about.
So when we work with young people, we work in last mile communities, in grassroots, at the very local level. In many cases, it is the most rural last mile communities that are feeling the worst impacts of climate change to their jobs, to their livelihoods, to whether they can even continue to live in the places where they've grown up. So we are focused again on young people and empowering them at the grassroots level to drive change in their communities, because this climate crisis has arrived, and now for many of these communities, for many of these young people, it is about adapting to this climate crisis so that they can continue to live in these very changed conditions, and that means taking climate action.
Absolutely. So community-centric action is what you're focusing on. Thanks very much, Mr. Frey, for joining us on NDTV.